So I'm going to start off this review by suggesting you turn off this review and just go and watch the movie. Because this film relies heavily on the audience not knowing what to expect in order to achieve what it sets out to achieve. A mind-bending thrill ride that keeps you on the edge of your seat, not knowing what the hell is going on as the movie both sickens and uplifts you in the most disturbing and brutal ways possible. But as I say, this movie relies on you not knowing. And once the trick is out the bag, the movie loses a certain je ne sais quoi that made it special in the first place. So I'm going to give my rating out of the way, and I'm going to suggest you turn off this review and go and watch the movie. On the first viewing, I give it a 9 out of 10. A must-see thrill ride that kept me on the edge of my seat the whole way through. And even on a second viewing, once I knew everything was going to happen and all the tricks out the bag, it only dropped down to an 8. I thoroughly recommend this movie and would watch it again. Now, I suggest you leave, because I'm about to get into the movie. And as always, thanks for listening, and bye.
What is it? I don't know! Look! What the fuck? Look at you are! It's bugs! Help me!
Well, you know what happens now.
So the opening scene, we see Charlotte, played by the lady from Get Out. So straight from the start, I didn't trust her. She was watching over her bed-bound, dying mother, who was in a room overflowing with prescription meds, staring over at the crucifix on the wall. But as we see her face, she has a look that makes us doubt she even knows where she is. Then it cuts. Her mother has passed. We see Charlotte on the phone to an old friend, who we soon find out is head of the most prolific music academy in history, and his family for 3 generations has trained the greatest musicians on the planet. And Charlotte, before her mother was taken sick, was one such student. And the way as she's travelling there to Shanghai to an event to select the next protege to attend the most prestigious academy on the planet, we see the girl who took Charlotte's place on billboards and in interviews. And straight away we think it's going to be a revenge thriller about Charlotte, a bitter woman taking revenge on the woman who she perceives to have taken everything she ever wanted or worked for. But then they meet each other and they hit it off from the start. And straight away you think, no, this is no revenge thriller. Lizzie, the lady who took Charlotte's place, is also a raging lesbian who refers to Charlotte that she would like to wear like a mask, and then takes her back to her hotel room and wears her like a mask. Then they wake up the next morning. Lizzie's a little bit hungover, so Charlotte gives her some painkillers, and they decide that they've had such a great time together, they don't want it to end, and that Charlotte will join Lizzie on her trip around China for the trip of a lifetime. So as the girls leave the hotel room and make their way to the bus station in order to start their trip, we hear about this virus. We even see a man throwing up, we do. And by the time they make it to the bus, Lizzie is complaining now she feels ill, and her stomach feels like it's turning inside out. As they get on the bus, Lizzie spews, and we see bugs in the spew too, we do. Also, Charlotte sees and then us know this is not an illusion. And at this point, the people on the bus go crazy and drag the girls off, they do, leaving them in the middle of nowhere to die. Lizzie is still spewing and panicking. As she looks down at her hand, we see bugs moving into the skin, we do, ripping through. And at this point, Charlotte pulls out a meat cleaver and says,
You know what you have to do?
So then it's back to a revenge flare. It cuts back to America, where Lizzie returns home, and we find out that Charlotte had left her for dead. And the fact that Lizzie had chopped off her own arm means they can't do nothing to Charlotte. Lizzie goes back to the prestigious academy, and they kick her out because she is useless now. So she goes and she kidnaps Charlotte, beating the shit out of her and dragging her back to the academy. And this is where we get the final and most brutal twist. It turns out the people at the academy are a bunch of sick, twisted pedo bastards who, if you make a mistake as their protege, basically take advantage and rape you. And Charlotte thought it was a good idea to cut off Lizzie's arm in order to free her from their grasp. But Lizzie doesn't appear to want to leave their grasp. And then the people take Charlotte and tie her up in a room. They bring in the young girl who was selected as the next protege and tell Charlotte to play. And if she makes a mistake, they will take it out on the young girl. Charlotte plays the most perfect symphony ever. They let the young girl leave, and then Lizzie walks over to Charlotte, ahead with her master and his two brothers, who are also a bunch of sick perverts who take advantage of children. And Lizzie says,
Usually I like to use my fingers, but that's out the question now, don't you think?
yeah, she threatens to plug it up with a stump. The ending's even better. I suggest you go and watch this movie. I'm going to stop right here before I ruin any more. And as always, thanks for listening, and bye.